You're listening to the Friendlyjordies podcast.
Hello, Alan Jones here for a third time in a row. They say it's a hat trick, and ladies and gentlemen, we're proving it here today. Though I will be in here next month and every month after that because the boys love me so much. We've got the game Who Am I? A classic now, as old as I am, I believe. Robbie's Who Am I? Is also coming up as well. There's also the third game of Who Am I? Eventually there will be a show where it is all just Who Am I segments. We're getting there. We're just introducing it until somebody notices this, but no, there wasn't really that much backlash in the comments. Arnold Schwarzenegger once in a 500-year man, question mark. Park your bum if you please, please, please. There's no third please in there, Tom. African Heartland with Ali. This week it's Hindu capitalism. Probably shouldn't have said that. Oh well, Sizzle's gone on that one. Jordan's special school stories as well, and you can tell by the title of that's going to be extremely offensive. See you next week.
Thank you, Alan Jones.
Thank you, Tom. Nice ass.
So we've got Robbie here. Hello, Robbie.
Hi guys, how are you?
Gnarly, special guest in the studio.
Hey guys, how you going?
Barely a special guest.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Ali's a mainstay.
Furniture fixture, Ali.
Alright, so we're going to do first game is...
and you're Tom.
Oh, and I'm Tom,
yeah.
and Jordan is here as well.
Yep.
So we're going to be playing Who Am I? Which is a recurring game that we've been doing with the audience on the Facebook page, where we're playing a car game of Who Am I? And you guys seem to be very terrible and don't seem to understand the game, but we're
that's basically Samuel Troy's fault, isn't it? I mean, he's the camp leader of the podcast audience, but has he done a good job? I don't think he has.
I think he's done a great job.
Do you deserve followers?
Yeah, I mean, I think
very unfair. I think he does a lot of work. He doesn't need to do anything.
I mean, he wrote a lengthy response, right?
Robbie's rent gets paid because of Samuel Troy.
Yeah, well,
and yet
it doesn't. But.
You'd be struggling.
Yeah. Anyway,
you are struggling as well, but Samuel Troy, you should be thanking him. But
look, I know.
What is your opinion of him?
Look, Samuel Troy, we met him, lovely guy. Okay, and he does contribute. He has contributed well. And I've actually got a little letter here that I'd like to read.
Okay.
In regards to his lack of effort with the Who Am I segment, to be honest.
All right.
Does it also address his outrageous outburst on the Friendlyjordies podcast comment section on Facebook, where he went into a tirade refusing to step down for his, let's face it, abhorrent behaviour?
I don't think it's that bad. I don't get what the...
No, you're just trying to be loved, aren't you? Look at this.
Telling everybody, should we care about this game? As scout leader, I'd expect that from the riffraff that comments to Samuel Troy, not from the man himself.
True, it is a bit of a, backstabbing from within, isn't it?
Look, I mean...
Now you're catching on, Tom. See? He's a demon.
All right, Robbie, let's hear your letter that you've written to Samuel.
All right. Hi, Samuel. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate you on your organisational prowess with Tyrannosaurus chess.
Yeah, right.
Not sure if Robbie was giving a clap to him or how good that sentence was.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he was clapping.
It was a condescending clap, I think.
You certainly rose to the occasion bravely and boldly when no one else would, and that is to be congratulated. However, your lack of respect for my Who Am I game and the group's Who Am I game with the Friendlyjordies podcast audience has left much to be desired. Sorry, mate, but it isn't your decision whether you stay or not as the camp leader of the Friendlyjordies podcast audience. That's for us to decide. And I'm going to do a vote now, okay, with the Friendlyjordies podcast people. To understand,
in the midst of failing audio equipment. Thanks, FBI.
To understand whether you should stay. So we're going to start the votes off with Tom. Should Samuel Troy stay or go?
I think
keep in mind.
Okay.
He's all right. Let me just say that
the audio is
a
awful.
bit bad here, but he's Tyrannosaurus chess. He did very well, didn't he?
Yeah.
But Who Am I? He slipped the ball hugely. Okay, now should he stay or go?
I think he should stay.
Okay. Now, Jordan.
Short and sweet. Don't want to justify it?
No, I don't think it needs justification. He's an integral part to this podcast.
You're a very arrogant man, Tom.
Arrogant? I think you used the wrong word there.
I don't think that needs a justification.
Jordan.
So, Robbie, look, I like siding with... I am a goblin. I like picking on little dwarves when they're down, harvesting their organs in front of their faces. It's a great feeling, but I can't do this with Samuel Troy. He's too good of a friend of the podcast. He's got too many points on me. This is a strike against him.
Okay.
And it was awful what he did.
Yeah.
But damn it, he pays your rent.
Okay, Ali, what do you reckon? I don't know, you didn't meet Samuel Troy, but you can gauge just from how I described him, like he did very well on the Tyrannosaurus chess, and he's sort of...
Why are we even...
If I
had an abominable blunder with the Who Am I? Right?
If I judge him based on what you told me, then he should probably go off. But
Sorry.
What was that?
Sorry, that was just a...
Was that your idiot fingers?
No, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, you go.
no, I'm just saying that it feels like X Factor. But I say, Samuel Troy, you deserve to stay.
And
The judges have spoken.
Why are we giving
Now
this
it's to
like
that
any time?
Yes, judge that they sometimes crack on, and somebody you haven't thought of in 20 years, say Kamal or something, Robbie.
no, and now I just have to say, even though you have done an awful job with Who Am I, and you're coming back now, I have to say, I'm going to have to say, it was a bit of a stitch up. I reckon you're doing all right. This is what you would say.
And so it's the song that you were just played accidentally before? Is that what you're trying to set up now? You can't get it.
Okay, Samuel Troy, thanks for coming back, mate.
Good to have you back.
What would have been a great celebratory moment for Samuel Troy, once again squabbled by Robbie's extremely slow, almost drug addict level figures.
Robbie, was this a gamble? If we would have said that Samuel Troy needs to go, would you have not pulled this off at the end and just like fired him?
Yeah. It would have gone.
I don't think you have
How
the
is your
ability.
motivational skill that bad?
What?
How come your hand-eye coordination is as slow as if a ball was hurling towards your face, it would have smacked it, you would have been squelching in pain, and then 3 seconds after that you would have tried and grabbed the ball.
Well, I'm juggling a lot of stuff here, I mean, that's, what can I say?
Well, you're asking for Ali's opinion. You were doing nothing, admit it.
No, I was teeing up that bloody... Look, I don't need to explain myself, all right? Who am I? The question was, Finn Williams, he goes, are you famous for playing a well-loved character in a series of films? And the answer to that is...
Oh, God.
No. Sorry. We're not.
And really sorry for that lack of coordination. I thought that we had this down pat by now.
Yeah, it was a bit off.
Unfortunately, yeah, there is room for improvement.
Yeah, but no, we're not that, so keep asking your questions. You're doing terribly.
I
Okay.
suppose it's kind of like when a basketball player, even Michael Jordan, had to keep dunking hoops in his spare time. If you want to be a champion athlete like we were at we're synchronized speakers.
Yeah, we're getting there. Not
That's
quite.
what we are. Except for when one of the girls is doing a scissors, the other one's going upright. They're just going, oh shit, it's a scissor part.
Yeah. Oh, this is drowning. All right,
That's a good segue for...
Jordan's special
stories.
school stories. Good segue.
Terrible, Robbie. Nonetheless, he's right. Extremely accurate.
Yeah, so Jordan was telling us before we started recording just all these very harrowing tales of his mum's time at school and things as a teacher, and we thought it'd be worth talking about.
Well, thank you very much for that extremely motivational, well-spoken introduction, Tom.
There you go. Take it away.
So my mum was in the school system for 30 years. She knows that she refuses to watch The Wire because it's, quote, too real. She taught mainly, for the vast majority of that time, special needs children. A couple of the highlight characters that I'm going to omit huge amounts of this story because everything is, if this were a normal thinking person, you would really call for their death. But you do give them a bit of leeway going, he doesn't know what he's doing. Still though, no, I call for their death. There's a couple of them that are just so evil. But anyway, okay. For instance, one of them is a 10-year-old Hannibal Lecter, for God's sake. He's in a
10.
room. Yeah, but that's just, he's a little monster. And as Tony Robbins always says, kill the monster while it's little. Of course, he's talking about a figurative belief in your head, clearly not a human being. Nonetheless, I will appropriate that. He was sitting in a, for God's sakes, turn that off.
Dude, seriously.
Sorry.
Every time.
Podcast, yeah. We've actually got limited time now and you're doing that.
Yeah, sorry. I'm very busy.
Where did this newfound Donald Trump level ego come from?
Very busy.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just too busy
I'm
for this.
extremely busy. I don't need to appropriate my arguments or justify them in the slightest, because I'm Tom.
Yeah. And I keep my
The
phone
logical
loud.
one here. Yeah, it was construction building level loud.
I know,
That
it's
same
such a loud
project
phone.
manager. Yeah, what is it, mate?
It's a new phone. I'm sorry. All right, keep going.
So this Hannibal Lecter kid, Mum used to have to go into a separate room that would always have. She was not allowed to go in there. Keep in mind, this kid was not even 10, 8, not even double digits age. Would have to have either a football player from St George Illawarra. This was before they were professionally paid, so a lot of them just came in teachers' aid to be a public approved goon, pretty much. So that my mum could click her fingers and go, get him, Rex.
So are they meant to be kind of like inspirational people as well for the kids? So they're like, oh, when I grow up, I could be like him. Or is it just purely they don't have
it's
security guard muscle, so they need to get football players?
They just needed greasy thugs to grease themselves up real good. And get ready to keep these monsters in check. So he had a mum that was such an outrageous heroin addict prostitute. Terrible story of these 5 kids, but she once tottered into school high off God knows what, in Mum's words, but I had the instant thought in my mind was, yeah, it was heroin. Clearly, when she said that it was a heroin addict before, she was saying that it was a slightly different high than what she was off.
It's semantics. It doesn't matter.
What does matter is she went through the school yelling, where's my fucking kids? Give me my fucking kids now. 70% give me my fucking kids, 30% where's my fucking kids?
Oh my god.
All these kindergartners curiously going out, putting up their hand going, Miss, what's a fucking...
Yeah.
All through the school. The principal eventually comes out and says, what do you want, Mildred? And she goes, I want all 5 of me kids so I can put air in their veins with a syringe because I'm fucking sick of it. So the principal says, quote, no, we won't be doing that.
Will we, Mildred? Yeah.
So she storms into the Hannibal kids' room and goes, get your ass up here, Leroy. And then Mum thankfully had those St George Illawarra kids to go, get him, Rex. So it's just escorted this lady out. So necessary in a ghetto school. This is why footy players shouldn't be paid. They need to be goons. That's their contribution to society.
Well, actually, it would be quite a contribution, wouldn't it?
Sure,
More
it
than
was.
football, probably, if you're helping out
Especially-
at a school like that.
Because they did have the offshoot of the fact that all the disabled kids would look up to them, because it's the same as Arnold Schwarzenegger, who used to do the same thing for disabled kids in America, who used to say, they look up to me because I'm a strong man. And so they actually did. They'd always go to him and say, can I have muscles that big? And they go, sure, mate, you just do 50 presses a day. That's it. That's what you do, mate. Good, wholesome advice.
Yeah, it's crazy how teachers go through so much stuff. Because I don't know, where did you get to go to school, Ali? Was it like a dodgy school or quite a well-to-do school?
Christ, no. He's the son of a banker in Pakistan.
Elysium. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I went to like...
His family had robot servants.
That's not true, but I did go to like a elite school.
Yeah, well, it would have been cool.
Elite. Yeah, because
So it's partially
you did as
true
well,
then.
Robbie. What was your school called, Robbie? It was something like King's College, right?
King's School.
The King's School. Not in Sydney and New Zealand.
That
though.
was in Auckland, yeah.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
And I went
Despite
to...
the fact
yeah.
that it was part of the Commonwealth and there's no way in hell anybody from there was going to become king. Why do they always call it that?
Yeah, what is it? The King's School. I don't know.
It's a thing here in Sydney as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's
The King owns it.
maybe it just sounds good, I guess. Or
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, and I went
As
to a
usual,
school that
thought
was
there'd be
really.
something to that avenue. There wasn't.
Well, all right, no, but what did you think? What did you think was? Sorry,
That's what I was wondering
let's
as well.
dissect that for a little second.
Because I thought I was talking to a normal human being, Robbie, who in this situation...
I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off. You've also got a couple of other human beings who you think are normal, right? So where else?
But the
do you think it's
question was
gonna go?
mainly directed at you. You
Well,
were
what
the
did
one
you want
that
me
went
to
to the
say?
primary
What the
school.
fuck did you want me to say? Jesus Christ! Honestly,
I wanted you to be able to... You obviously would have gone through the hallway where they would have had the history of kings, and you would have said, well, actually, interestingly, Jordan, the reason it's
Yeah,
called
there
King
might have been
is A,
some
B, and
insight
C."
there.
do you know what school did you go
No
to?
insight at all. Glenmore Road Public.
Well,
you know the reason
yeah,
why it was called that?
because
Because
it
it
was
was on fucking Glenmore Road.
Well, I've got zero idea why.
Well, you were in
71
primary school at the time, so it'd be hard to
So
know.
was I!
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but-
that's easy, right?
fucking
Anyone can work that out.
It just seems like if that were the $100 question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Robbie would have gotten it wrong.
Yeah, if you were
Why
on
is
Who
it
Wants to
called Glenmore
Millionaire.
Road?
No, well, if you were on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and they were like, what? And they said your specific school, and they said, what's the origin of the name of the school? And you were like, this is so annoying because I actually went to this school. It would tear you up.
Would have said. No, it's no
Followed by minutes of...
That would be crushing.
Yeah.
My phone a friend's already out.
Oh, God. Could have been any
Accompanied by the
school.
secondary sound of this.
You really need to answer soon.
All right. Just what's a question? What's like your version of that question? Like, what's a question for you that you would like?
What
just
would be really annoying to
crushed
hear?
and so close
Oh,
to your
yeah.
life. Like you
It'd be
should
like,
know
what's
it.
the origin of this word? And it's like your last name or something like that.
Yeah.
And you just be like, I have no idea. It could be any word. Like you're the one person in the world that should be able to answer it, and you can't.
If it was your name, I would hazard the guess that it came from people standing outside of a marketplace, not with enough money to get a market stall, just buying a few from that guy in bulk, standing out the front. I guess the upsell of it being a matter of convenience, that they don't have to take an extra 10 steps to get a tomato. Go, tomato, get your tomato.
What, you mean mine specifically?
Yeah,
Montefiore.
yours specifically.
I think it means mountain of flowers in Italian.
Close.
Yeah.
It's a very high class Jewish name, isn't it?
I don't know if it's high class, but it's a Jewish name.
Well, it's like
for sure.
it's well regarded. I'm pretty
Yeah, it's like
sure.
Cohen or Goldstein
yeah.
or something. But just for some reason, people don't think of it as a Jewish name.
Mountain of Flower, because it sounds too Mediterranean ethnic.
Montefiore, yeah. Well, I think it's like, some Italians ran away to Spain and then they just changed it because they wanted to change it. And yeah, I don't know. You would never find a mountain made of flowers, so it's kind of a bit silly. But yeah, I don't know. It's all right.
Sure, you would have.
Well, I don't know. I think a mountain, maybe, yeah. You'd find a mound for sure. There is a Montefiore hill somewhere, but it's a hill.
I think it's a region
Yeah,
as well.
so there you go. It's actually probably better to say I don't know, because usually the origin of things is pretty fucking boring, really.
Yeah, there you go. So we shouldn't have asked
There's
the
a
question.
hill
Yeah.
somewhere in Europe, I guess.
Yeah.
Did it have any flowers on it? No.
I don't know. I haven't been there.
Okay. Now, background to the school.
Yeah. So yeah, none of us really have experience going to really dangerous schools where they've got
No.
these problems. But yeah,
But
I know so
Tom,
many people
Tom
have.
knows stories.
Yeah, well, I have one friend that used to always go on about the school that he went to. A lot of like rural public schools that have big problems where there'll be where half the grade will be from very poor indigenous families, and then they'll kind of have these little kind of wars at school between each other where the indigenous kids hate the non-indigenous kids and vice versa. And yeah, I remember him telling me a story about how there was this one hallway in his school where you just wouldn't go down the hallway because it just the Aboriginal kids owned that hallway. Even the teachers wouldn't go down to that hat rack. They'd yell
Jeez.
from afar, all right guys, lunch is over, come on. They wouldn't be able to go down it because it was kind of a
No
worry.
classic primary school mural of a black hand holding a white hand behind a backdrop of the globe.
Yeah, just
Down
warfare.
there.
Yeah.
Just the smell of feces.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, because I think I was just a massive outlier because I know heaps of people that went to these schools that just for instance, I remember my local high school, on their billboard when the HSC was finishing, it was saying congratulations, 50% of the year got above band 4 in HSC, which means 50% of the year got below band 4 as their average,
which is like 70, is it?
Well, yeah, it's like I don't know many unis that will accept anything above those kind of ranks to get into any degree.
Oh, you haven't been to Wollongong.
Yeah, so I guess like maybe I was just this massive outlier, and that's actually something to celebrate, because I thought of it as like, this is a joke. Like, how are they putting this up as a stat? This should be like hidden or something.
Yes. Yes, in Alexandria they used to have billboards like that. One of them was 90% of our kids stayed in school this year.
Yeah.
This is primary school.
This is not primary school. There's no way that is true.
It is.
Really?
They used to always just drop out. Yes. Go out and steal cop cars. That's why the little Hannibal Lecter kid was in by himself, because he stole 3 police cars in his time, torched one of them, and totaled the other one, smashed it, and then his little 8-year-old feet ran out of it unhinged.
At the age of 10. Insane.
How was he allowed, like, multiple examples of car theft?
Yeah, 3.
How did he manage multiple?
Yeah, how did he get away with the first one?
No, but he's a kid. He is 10 years old, so that's always in his favor.
Yeah, that was...
So he went under the very technical legal defence of boys will be boys.
Yeah. That's actually how he got away, though, right? Like,
surely.
Yeah.
Never
Anyway.
convicted. Too young to go to juvie. I remember hearing Mum saying that the penal system could not imagine a situation where a kid could be that sinister at such a young age. So he slipped below the cracks. And that's why The Wire is too real for Mum.
Do you know the circumstance surrounding each of those stealings? Like, do you know how he actually did it?
I remember, but I do remember my mum was painting exactly one of those murals of a black hand holding a white hand with a globe in the background.
No
was
way.
making that for Alexandria. I remember her going, "Oh, that's a really good job, Mildred," to one of the other disabled kids who was just a nice, happy Down syndrome kid or whatever. And then she turns around and he's a
We're driving
and
past.
it's Lee. The Hannibal shit in the car.
What year is 10 years old? Like year 4?
Something like that.
Is that like
Year
year
5.
4? Year 5.
Year
That's
4, 5.
insane. I remember a kid rode he threw his bike off the cliffside at the beach in my primary school in like year 6, and everyone was just astonished at that. And they're like, yeah, he might have set it on fire as well. And we're like, oh my god, that's amazing. That's so badass.
What is badass about that?
This guy did Grand Theft Auto. Yeah.
Are you impressed and or scared of that boy knowing that he threw a bike over a cliff?
Everyone was a little scared of him. I can tell you that.
Do that to a bike.
Yeah. What can he do to me? Yeah.
It goes bike, cat, human. It's 2 steps away from being that sinister.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I remember he once rang me up to go play, and he goes like I answered the phone. And he said, "Hey, is this Tom?" And I was like, "Hi, yeah, who's this?" And he goes, "It's Sam." And I thought it was a different Sam. Like another Sam at school who I was friends with, and he's like, "Yeah, do you want to go kick the football around?" I was like, "Yeah, all right, I'll go kick the football around." And I met him at the park, and it was this other Sam, and I like just hanged out the whole day. We went to the movies with this guy. Like I didn't know him at all. I don't know how he got my number, but yeah, he was.
Were you just getting led along like an innocent sheep when he said, "Let's go to the movies"? Was your response, "Oh, okay, sure"?
Yeah, definitely. I think I brought another friend with me, kind of out of fear.
Not that he could do anything, just to witness the carnage.
Yeah, to tell my tale.
If you've got any funny childhood stories, comment them below. I think we'd all love to have a little read of those.
But now we're going to move on to Schwarzenegger.
Another question for you. Is Schwarzenegger a once every 500-year man?
And outright, we definitely want people to post pictures for this one, surely. This debate is going to rage.
Right.
Tom, complete anti-fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger to the degree if he lived in the same continent, thank God he's lazy, because otherwise he would be like one of those anti-fans of Korean pop stars that shits on the doorstep and leaves.
Yeah. I don't hate him. I just think The Rock's better. But yeah, the argument
which is very insulting.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What the hell, Ali?
You compare
Please
The
weigh in
Rock
on this,
with
Ali.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like,
Yeah.
there's no comparison.
Oh, we've compared it.
Okay, wait. In what way is The Rock better than Arnold?
I think he's funnier than Arnold.
No, but like once in a 500, like, there's way too many.
No.
kids
All
out
right,
there
no,
that-
the once in a 500. I don't think The Rock is a once in a 500-year man, but I don't think
How many
Schwarzenegger
how
is
many
either.
once in a year is The Rock, though, in your opinion?
5 years? Once in 5?
Yeah, 4 years.
I think it's that remarkable to
Yeah.
stop the world every half decade when someone like this is born.
Yeah, I reckon he's up there. The highest grossing actor in Hollywood.
So who else
For
is
that
once
year.
in 5 year
Yeah,
bands
crazy.
to you?
Once in 5-year man.
Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
the fat guy from Cool Runnings. Is he
No,
up
I don't know
there?
who that is. Do you know the fat guy from Cool Running?
Yeah, he died prematurely, didn't he?
Probably. He was very
Wait, is
fat.
that
Do you know who that is, Ali?
is that Chris Farley?
I don't think so.
You're asking
but
the wrong guy.
Yeah, no, I think that is another fat guy that
That
died.
died
So here's an example of someone who's not a 1 in 5-year man. He's just a man.
So how many once in how many years do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger is?
Once in 8 years? Once in 8. Once
So
in
by that
8-year man.
By
That is
this though,
almost-
you are admitting that Arnold Schwarzenegger is better than The Rock. The truth comes out.
No, I think he's probably... Yeah, I don't think The Rock is better than Schwarzenegger. I think The Rock is funnier than Schwarzenegger. As in, I think The Rock is an untapped source of funny. Well, I think the Schwarzenegger is overly tapped. Anyway, that's
But
a
if they
different...
were
yeah,
going to
like
go into a Greco-Roman wrestle,
Who would
you
win in
think
a fight?
Schwarzenegger would come out on top.
In a fight today? No.
Not today.
At both of them at their peak.
That's very, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably
The
Schwarzenegger.
storyline to Rocky Balboa 6.
Yeah, they go back in time to Roman Colosseum days and battle it out.
Anyway, we've done that. But
Yeah.
so why is Schwarzenegger a once in 500-year man in your opinion, Jordan?
Who else has achieved what he's achieved?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that is-
Jordan's saying...
God, really? That is such a bad opening question.
So do you... Alright,
Explain
Ali,
yourself.
would you say that Schwarzenegger is the most successful man who's ever lived?
I would say that
in 500 years.
Yeah, if there was
You
a
would say
list
Schwarzenegger in the last 500 years of human history
Look at his
is the most
biography,
successful...
yeah.
You honestly think that?
Look, dude, he was born in Austria.
Lee thinks that.
Yeah, alright, compare him to Albert Einstein.
Yeah, that's the other example.
No, but like Albert Einstein
Grew up in
Actually,
Nazi.
kind of.
He went through Germany. He was a refugee. He got all his.
Schwarzenegger was a refugee.
Yeah.
A refugee from boredom.
Yeah, and one of them discovered general relativity, and one of them like made the 2 pillars of physics. Like proper.
and one of them was
discoveries.
fucking Terminator
and
2,
apples.
man.
One at a time. One at a time.
It's like
Get
there's
off him. Get off him.
No, I can defend this.
there's like people like Isaac Newton and people that are kind of will come out and they'll say like we need to wait like for Da Vinci to come, and Da Vinci will come and he'll advance human history by so far. Einstein is one of those people that has like we wouldn't be where we are if we didn't have Einstein to make these kind of completely radical contributions that just like jump us like a whole mile ahead of ourselves. What has Schwarzenegger done that's contributed to human society in any way?
Solar panels in California.
There you go.
The leading state in the United States, setting the example for the rest of the world. Catch up to California. That was Schwarzenegger.
Oh my god.
What a comeback.
Yeah, what a comeback, Jordan. Great comeback, mate. Yeah.
I choose not to take that sarcastic tonality into fruition. Just say, yeah, thanks, Tom.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, look, I've got a question here in regards to that opinion, Jordan. Look, is his success indicative of a sick population or of his impressive achievements and motivation?
That's a good question, Robbie.
I'm going to go with the latter.
Okay.
I'll say that Arnold Schwarzenegger has accomplished so much.
You can't say it without laughing.
Proven by Tom.
Why is this a joke?
Tom, who just admitted that he's better than Albert Einstein.
I didn't
Fact.
admit
You can go back and listen to the audio if you like. You clearly said it. Robbie, insert that audio in right now, just to remind everybody of the time that Tom said that, quote, Arnold Schwarzenegger is better.
that. Yeah, if you can find that audio, good luck.
Alright, so can you say Arnold Schwarzenegger is better?
I'm not saying it.
Say it.
No.
Just say it, like, and then...
No, I won't say it. I won't be saying it.
Just say, Schwarzenegger's better.
Schwarzenegger's better.
Idiot. I've done you. You stupid.
Better
But like,
than Einstein.
I kind of want to. So Arnold Schwarzenegger is actually better because he's not as intelligent as, like, he has achieved way more than he should have. Like, Albert Einstein is a really intelligent man and has, like, achieved whatever he has, and he deserves every bit of it. But Schwarzenegger, for some reason, isn't really that talented, but somehow has achieved a fuckload.
Well, if you're using that scale or something, you could say that for, you know, anyone that's like incredibly
Well, who else?
stupid, and then, but that's not the scale we're talking about. We're saying like who is just like objectively contributed more to the world.
No, we
No,
always
Who's
that's
a better
not-
person?
yeah.
Who's a success?
Yeah,
Who's more successful,
1 in
Albert
500.
Einstein or
Okay,
Schwarzenegger?
how are we judging?
God, this is. You know what I realised?
It should just be
This
like
is
even-
such a triple M debate. Is Arnold Schwarzenegger awesome? Everyone agrees, yes. But how awesome?
yeah, Einstein
We'll be
or
taking your calls. Once in every 500 years, what do you reckon? Half a millennium good? And of course, it's Akka Jacka Holy Crapper.
holy crapper!
It's 5:55 a.m. Time to rock out with your cock out.
All right, all right, Robbie. Let's move on to your Who Am I?
Okay, so people, last week I did Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter. And
Anyone guess that?
Everyone, people guessed that. People got it actually. So that was.
Wow,
I know that was really good.
Very good impression on your behalf, Robbie.
Thank you.
Despite the fact that you sound like any children's book that I've ever heard where a man has to do an old woman's voice.
Can we hear an example of Moaning Myrtle?
Well, you heard it last week.
Yeah, do it again
I'm
really
not
quick.
I'm not a monkey.
Right.
So this week I've got a new one for you guys. This is Who Am I Robbie edition. And here we go. Who do you reckon this is?
Ooh, a clue perhaps?
Lois, where's my beer?
Is that your
Can't spoil it.
Sorry, I'll have to beat that up.
Lois, where's my Pawtucket beer?
You just repeated the same sentence, just added a couple of words.
Clue.
God, let's see what else there.
If the music wasn't enough. Pawtucket beer.
Hey, let's go to the Clam. Get some beers.
All right, so if you think you know who that is, let us know in the comment section.
Tuffy.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Yep.
And if you think that you know who it is, do not put the actual picture of that person up. Put up who you think is genetically closest in relation to him out of Meg, Stewie, and the other one that no one remembers. All they know is that his voice is the guy from Robot Chicken.
Chris.
Yeah, that's
Chris, yeah.
but now, oh god, now guess what? I'm very excited about this.
Oh yeah.
Ali, are you ready? Look, we've got Ali's African Heartland.
This week.
Oh, what's happening?
This week, Hindu
what the
capitalism.
That's Ali's African Heartland music.
You just added something.
Why did you add the ISIS theme song?
No, it's the same. It's been the same every time.
Has it?
Yeah.
No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has. Go and check. You don't listen to it.
No, I don't know. I just can't believe that. All right.
How did you sneak that in and none of us noticed?
Yeah.
No, but the
Highly offensive.
the reason it's in there is because you were talking about the first time you talked about. What was the first one?
Iran.
Iran.
Yeah.
And it was
So it's kind of like Middle East.
I was
It's
like
secretly a Middle Eastern.
it was like Middle Eastern music. So
Yeah,
I was
because if we're doing Hindu capitalism this time, that's got
But it's
nothing to
not
do with Africa anyway.
Yeah.
So go on. The music's all right. I don't mind it.
like, if you want me to change it, I will. Honestly, it's your thing. So
No, I want you to keep it.
okay. Thanks, Ali.
You can't get past. Everybody in the comments was saying, talk about the earthquake and bomb attack in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to. How could you, however, put yourself in our shoes when somebody references the term to describe how a society is run? It is such a cheap sci-fi book from the 70s idea, and it is happening right now to the second most populated country in the world. They are run by Hindu capitalism.
Okay, I need to like.
Is that a wrong phrase? Like, is that a bad term to use?
First of all, it's not my term. That's for what
Ali's
it was.
term.
It was like the first time I heard of it was coined by one of the Indian writers, Arundhati Roy. She wrote God of Small Things. She's an accomplished writer, but she was the one who coined it. I don't particularly agree with it, but like I guess I can explain what I'm trying to say by this. First of all, I don't think I need to.
Don't you?
What? Completely agree. Because I
thought
think
that
it has
you
like
were
a bit of a negative.
strong supporter of this notion.
No, I like once I explain it, then you can term it whatever you want. Like I'm a strong supporter of the idea behind it, but I'm not necessarily saying that the term Hindu capitalism is the best term that's ever been coined. Because I don't think
I don't know. I think it is the best term
It's-
that's ever been coined.
No, continue. Sorry. Go ahead.
it's just like it's more I guess eyeball grabbing when you say Hindu capitalism.
Yeah.
But what I
What is it?
Okay, so here's how I look at it. So it's so I don't think I need to explain the capitalist bit. Like India is a capitalist country, and it's turbocharged capitalism now with this growing economy and urbanizing middle class. But the reason why I say Hindu capitalism is, or I don't say it, someone else does it, and I sort of agree with it.
Ooh.
The idea is that
turn around in less than a minute.
Yeah, why are you tiptoeing around this?
no, because like I'll explain it. I'll explain it to you. I just don't. I just
You got
I,
something to say to us?
Yeah, I just need a bit more time to explain what I mean.
Okay,
Okay. So, essentially, it's one of the reason why you can call it Hindu capitalism is because it's actually a really strong system, but it's also decaying internally. So India has always been it's one of the biggest sort of civilizations ever. It's because it still has a structure that works really well. So that structure we call as caste system. It has negative connotation, but for like the early days, it was a social structure that kept everything intact. So you had like the priestly class, then you had the warrior class.
Then the Brahmins, the priestly.
Yeah, the Brahmins are the priestly
Sikhs are
class. The Kshatriyas are the warrior class. Then you've got the Vaishyas, which is the merchants and trader class. And then you've got the Shudras, which is like the lower class. And then you can go further down with like untouchables and everything. But what it's not the best way to run things. But what we must keep in mind is that because of this system itself, the Indian society was intact because the social structure was laid out so perfectly and it just worked with everything else. The reason why I say it's a Hindu capitalism, or someone else says it, is because that structure is still intact within the Indian society. It's changing because of different influences, but the idea is the same. So I'll explain it to you. So for example, if you look at the billionaires that are in India at the moment, quite a few of them would come in that merchant class, that traditional merchant class that has always been there. So it's not only that you belong to a particular caste, it's also that there's only a certain amount of professions that you can do. If, at least in the olden days, it's sort of changing now, but within the country areas, it's still very intact. So if you are a farmer and you belong to a particular caste, if you're a farmer, you're probably not a Brahmin. And if let's say if that farmer, if he's not getting a good crop field, eventually in the rest of the world, you would move over to a profession that's how economics works. But for this guy, he doesn't have that option. So if he tries to move on to a different profession, he'll be an outcast within his society.
But not like legally. He doesn't.
There's none of this is legal. So the caste system has been
because
abolished.
they got rid of it.
Yeah, they got rid of it, and so none of this is legal. But it's still because this sort of structure was so powerful for thousands of years that you can't get rid of it overnight.
It's like deeply entrenched in
it's deeply entrenched, and by the way, it's not only within India. Obviously it's turbocharged within India, but even in Pakistan, the caste system, even though it's been like the religion itself doesn't really allow it, but it's so entrenched within the society itself that it's still prevalent in Pakistan as well, at least in certain areas. But so because of that, this new capitalist model, which is the idea of social mobility, where you can move from one area to another depending on your economic returns. That's how usually countries develop. I feel that within India, this structure is being constrained. This idea of social mobility is being constrained by these old social issues that are still lagging on. So the capitalism, in a sense, becomes a Hindu capitalism. Maybe the word's not right. Maybe it's not Hindu capitalism, but the phenomena is happening, and I don't think we can sort of ignore that, which is a huge hindrance. So when world economists often say that India will be the next country that will challenge at least regional Chinese hegemony, I say that I hope that's the case, but there are serious issues within Indian social structure.
Ali, what's the image that comes to your mind when you think of Hindu capitalism?
Oh, well, it just means the image itself is that, it would suggest that capitalism is influenced by certain Hinduist ideological ideas.
What's the way that sums it up? So,
do you want him to say a cow in a suit?
Or like a June or something like that?
Not that. I wanted but yes. I wanted him to say Vishnu with one of those Terminator eyes, wads of cash in each hand, riding an elephant that is one of the... Remember Beast Wars? Remember those ones that could transform into a robot from an elephant? Yeah, that one. But you can't tell. You can't tell that it's a robotic elephant until shit gets real.
Do you think, though, that it won't be... Because I always hear the thing of, like, China's economy growing, but it doesn't mean that we're going to necessarily adopt Chinese way of life, right? So like if the Indian economy like blows up and they become this huge competitor, it's not like we're going to adopt some kind of like a caste base.
Oh no, absolutely not. That's not good. It's just, it's sort of limiting within that structure. So it's not like even if they are huge, it's one of those, even within India, it's in most cases, at least amongst the progressive, it's just considered to be one of those things that are
old ways.
Yeah, old way. So they're not exporting. This is not their self-power by any stretch. But what I was trying to say is that within, you know how they're looking at their economy to grow, they're looking at this new India that would be possible within 30 years or 50 years or whatever. I just say that that's really good and they should go for it. But these issues that I was talking about, it's not even within the state's hand. Like, they've outlawed caste system. These are real... This is what made India into this huge civilization. So it's sort of good and bad. It's good that it kept them alive for so long, whereas other civilizations sort of went away. But it's because it was so strong that it's also hard for it to adapt into something
surely
else.
all the untouchables and all the lower castes would be really keen to stop it, right? Or they maybe not. Maybe they're like, this is who we are. Like,
they're keen to stop it. What happens with India is that the way their power, so even the lower castes do have power. They become these interest groups. So they're usually called the Dalits or the backward castes, and they have a vote bank as well. So there would be politicians that would be wooing them. So for instance, saying they've got this law called affirmative action. So they call it reservation, where they would keep a certain amount of seats within universities or government, organizations for backward castes. So this is one of the ways that they sort of woo the backward castes, and they eventually form this power group within themselves. So they're not helpless people. But because the society is functioned in a way that those interest groups remain within that interest group. So the idea of being an economic giant is not only that you can get these interest groups to work for each other, but to also interchange these interest groups. So if someone, social mobility, so that backward caste person doesn't always have to represent that interest group. He can, for instance, be amongst a Sanskrit professor, for instance.
How many untouchables are rich?
It's kind of saying like how many black people are rich. They are rich black people, but like as a general rule, you'll find black people in America to be amongst the poor.
But why are they rich? Are they rich for being mad at sport and things like that? Or are they? Do they sell things?
They're not rich. They don't sell things. So that's one of the issues, that because of the social structure, they have the inability to sell things because their society would outcast them, especially amongst the country. These things are changing within. So as India is becoming more urban, there are more villages that are now essentially these bustling cities now. But within those cities, what we would have expected was that these old ways of caste would eventually just break down, and then they would go into these urban centers, and then it would be like it is in Sydney or any other city. But they somehow have adapted it within that urban culture as well. So to answer your question, like how do they make money, I would assume that the best way for some backward caste person in India to make money would be to get as educated as he can and then go into professional jobs and just be really good at what your job is, and then hopefully, and you're living within an urban setting where your society is not going to outcast you for doing that. That's one of the ways you can do it. And I'm just saying it can happen. It already always is happening. But there's a few hindrances for it to happen. It's hard for that guy to make money. That's what I'm saying.
Out of us, who do you think belongs to whose caste system, just by giving us a glance?
Well, I think Tom would... I guess, because like if you said that Montefiore is kind of like Cohen, then I think you definitely are a Brahmin.
What's that? The soldiers?
Damn.
No. Those are the intellectuals, the priestly caste. Because like Cohens are that, aren't they?
Again, with this newfound godlike persona around in his own mind as well. What does the most smug facial expression I've ever seen?
I've just been called a Brahmin, alright? I'm gonna.
Alright, and who else, Ali? What would Jordan do?
Would a Brahmin behave like that, though, Ali?
Yeah, they'd behave like that. Thousands of years being told they're the boss.
Yeah. I suppose he is a Brahmin. No.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, you listen.
What would Jordan be? Jordan would probably be the third, the Vaishyas, which is like the merchant and trader class.
Do you think I'd be them?
Yeah, I don't. It's not necessarily because you're businessmen or anything. It's just that I think comedians would sort of. Do you know what would this again? This sounds.
Are they the
really
third class?
Yeah, they're the third in line.
So singers would all be from the top class.
No, that's the other thing. I just
where would mime artists be from? Probably untouchables.
Mimes. Yeah.
Mimes.
It's the lowest form of art, surely.
Yeah.
No, but like I just feel so politically incorrect to say this shit because this is still like a major issue within India. But like I think you would actually be one of the.
They're not going to hear it.
Yeah, I think you would actually be one of the. Don't get this wrong, but I think you would be one of the untouchables, and there's a reason why you would be that. It's because like or at least backward class, if not untouchable. The Shudra.
Backward class.
Yeah, that's what they call them. It's
with the mime
all of these terms are not mine.
Yeah, Ali, I really don't like this.
I honestly, I feel like it's you're bringing this vitriol, and
that's what they call them. I swear to God, that's what they call them.
I don't know. I just feel uncomfortable.
Okay,
I don't know.
Robbie displaying classic white misguided calling racism where it clearly doesn't exist.
Sorry,
he doesn't understand.
Hey, I'm just saying what I feel, and I feel
and you're entitled to do that, Robbie.
Thanks.
So we need to wrap it up soon. So we're going to go straight to
Ali's insensitivity.
No, I think we're just going to go straight to the Parky Bum Bum, if you please.
You reckon? Or I reckon. Well, we should probably just quickly say now that I've introduced it. Basically, Jordan bought before a bunch of incense, and we've been burning it in here, and I found it extremely relaxing and lovely. Monty,
I loved it.
You've loved it, Jordan. You've enjoyed
Being
it.
from the priest class, he was very pro incense. And as someone from the untouchable, it was really nice to mask the smell of dead fish.
yeah, we both have. See, we're not too different.
But Ali thought
I hate them. They're the worst.
Why do you hate it so much?
No, because when you smell one of these, you're probably thinking of some like you're probably staying over at like one of your hippie friends' house. Who's like he was a vegan, and like, for me this reminds me of graveyards, like dead people, really, or because like
and temples where they worship rats.
What?
No, that's
Is that a place? Do they do that somewhere?
Yeah. Feed them milk while all of these filthy vermin are going over the priests, all over them.
Oh, wow.
Like you would see a captain that is extremely decorated with several parrots.
No, but why do you look at it as if some sort of like
They're not necessarily
you have like
filthy, right?
those
They're
pet animal shelters? You can probably look at it the same way. I think what they wanted with that rat temple, for instance, is that the more food they give it, it's better karma. So it's not essentially they're worshipping the rat itself, but giving
nice
food to the being nice.
Come on, Ali, they're worshipping the rat.
No,
It's
they're
called
not.
Rat temple.
The rat symbolizes something that they worship.
Oh, yeah, Ali, he's got you, mate. It's
It's
true.
having a go. Right?
Robbie's called it. Oddly, the only thing that he does on this podcast where we don't abruptly question and criticize him is when he calls something.
He'll settle it. Yeah.
He comes in as Robbie the Peacemaker. For some reason, that's a completely fine role for him, and I applaud him for doing that, particularly seeing as this instance I was highly favoured in the outcome.
All right, so Ali, we're going to play. Oh, and Robbie.
So we'll do group Who Am I now. So this is the third Who Am I.
No, I don't think we will be.
You don't reckon?
And the reason Robbie keeps trying to override this next segment is that it is the crowd favourite. And by crowd, I mean my favourite. And Tom likes it too. That's a crowd.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't listen to the podcast.
I like doing it at the time.
No, you didn't. You didn't do it.
I did do it. Ali saw me do it.
I'll
You
turn
saw
your
me,
mic
right, Ali?
I'll turn your microphone off. I have no qualms with doing that.
Did you see me do it, Ali, or not? Parking
I
my
don't know.
bum
I was a
here,
bit
if I
hazy.
please. Well, you're not hazy.
Did you see Tom's ass?
No, I didn't see Tom's ass, but I did see him.
All right, let's see your ass.
No, that's your ass. It's your week. All right, so
This week, we will be determining out of Robbie or Ali, unless one of them wants to volunteer, who has the more hilarious ass. It's like a Hunger Games where the punishment isn't death, it's just being extremely embarrassed in front of people you don't know, and they've got cool shirts on, so that's not a word.
and they're currently doing a live performance out there, so there's a crowd.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Robbie?
Awful week. You really should have volunteered last week, shouldn't you, Robbie?
Well, I think
now
I've got
the
a strong
competition is so
chance
much more fierce.
I think Ali will do it this week. I think we've got a strong chance.
We'll see.
So you think you have a less hilarious ass than Ali?
Or maybe not.
Let's find out.
That's pretty bad.
All right, guys, stand up.
I don't feel comfortable. Why
Please
are we
do.
doing this? No, actually.
Somebody volunteer, man. This is our determining feature. Don't question tradition.
All right, Ali. Do you want to?
Well, you just want us to moon you.
Yeah, we just want to look at your ass.
don't.
No, this is the first determining factor
don't
of
do it,
who's going to play Park Your Bum Bum, if you please. Why does this always have to end in tears and arguments?
Yeah, so
Can we
either
just have a
volunteer.
clean
I'll
version for
Okay,
once?
all right.
I'll save you, Ali, from this embarrassment that they want.
Oh, shut up.
Thanks.
Just do
Okay,
it.
so we have volunteers. I'll take it.
How about I just don't do it?
You
How's
put
that?
me through. I had to do it last week
All
twice.
right, can we do the group Who Am I? Please.
Get up. Can we do the Park Your Bum Bum,
Can
if
we
you
do-
please?
Can we do
No,
Who Am I
Robbie.
and then do the
No, we're not doing that. Go up, because we're running
we don't
out
have
of time.
time. We don't have time.
So are we going to do that next week?
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
Okay, all right, we'll do it. So just everyone listening, like, be
Yeah, come back
excited
next
for that.
week.
Okay, we've got third Who Am I for next week.
Okay, but park your bum bum, please.
Play
Yeah,
Sail
they're avoiding
Away.
Okay, all right. Just one sec.
it. Oh my.
You're getting back to being the coward of this podcast again after Tom thrust it from your hands. I don't know how he did it. It was a huge feat to beat you in cowardice.
What the hell? I didn't care. All right, go.
You refused. You tried to barge your way in. Robbie, Ali,
can
make
you
sure
have a
that you
look?
watch him.
No, I did that.
Okay, so
Yeah, just
Robbie
watch
is
him
taking off his
again.
book. Go watch him. Go now. We have to verify that this happens. Somebody needs to man the microphones while you're gone. You can't have dead air.
It's not a punishment having to watch this.
Okay, he did do it.
No, he did not. That was so fast.
There's no way he did it in time.
First 2 seconds. So it's like,
No, honestly, I did it. And here we go. Here's the music to confirm it.
You can't run the buttons and just. Oh god!
I did it. You should have got up and Ali saw it. Look.
Where did he do it, Ali?
He did do it, just like right outside. He got caught in the first 2 seconds, which is why, like, he literally just sat down and everyone's looking as he got back in.
So the way that game works, everyone really quickly, is that someone has to run outside and park your bum next to the closest person you can. And Robbie did it. So good work, Robbie, I guess. All
right.
So someone
guys.
spotted your bum.
Yeah, something thought.
Oh god, he's eating. All right, let's wrap it up.
We need to get out.
All right, that's the end of episode 53 of the Friendly Jordies podcast. Thanks to Ali.
Thank you.
Thanks to Jordan.
No worries.
Thanks to Tom.
Yeah, thanks.
And I'm Robbie, and we'll see you next week for a third Who Am I? Bye, guys.